What's up guys, Lewis here from Indie Cradle, back with another week of indie game releases on your consoles. This week doesn't bring as many releases as previous weeks, but it's still fair to say it's a great week for indie games. So without me banging on anymore, let's dive into those games. Way of the Pacifist is a modern take on the classic arcade brawler. You control a mysterious character known as the Wanderer, who is travelling across the mining colony known as Zircon 5. When coming across a planet that seems to see all of its inhabitants disappeared, only to now be overrun by wild maniacs, the Wanderer is searching for answers. The Pacifist comes from the combat itself, which plays out in a rhythm-based style when linking a series of dodges and blocks will allow you to unleash the powerful Pacifist, an attack that will pretty much clear every enemy on the screen. Way of the Pacifist is releasing on Xbox One and PS4 on the 6th of March. Midnight Deluxe is a game that combines puzzle mechanics with a golf-style gameplay. You control a little cube called Midnight, who you need to get to the safe zone in a few moves as possible. As you progress through the dark world, you'll come across new challenges including circular saws, ferocious spikes, and a series of other dangerous objects. Midnight Deluxe is releasing on PS4 on the 6th of March and Nintendo Switch on the 8th of March. North is a short exploration game where you play as a nameless man who has travelled from the south to seek refuge in the north. As you explore the fantasy environments, you'll need to interact with the alien-like inhabitants and solve puzzles to increase your chance of asylum in the north. This short exploration game is releasing on Xbox One on the 6th of March.
Dear Mum and Dad, there was an incident at school which is why I'm going on an adventure. The Astral Academy's magical spells have gone missing, and I'm going to recover them.
9 Parchments is the next game from Frozen Byte, the developers behind the Trine trilogy. This co-op beat 'em up, or blast 'em up, sees you playing as a group of runaway mages who have taken it upon themselves to seek out the 9 Parchments and complete their wizardry training. Just like the Trine games, you'll be playing through wonderfully colourful fantasy environments and facing off against a host of unique creatures. 9 Parchments is available now on Nintendo Switch and is coming to Xbox One on the 7th of March.
Not to mention the humongous monsters. I'll make you both proud by collecting all my 9 parchments.
Welcome to the new world. Welcome to the trail. Take a stroll through the ancient forest, the frozen peaks, Dead Man Dunes.
The Trail Frontier Challenge is a low-poly adventure game that allows you to not only explore undiscovered lands, but also build a community within them. Embarking on this adventure will see you choose a profession, craft buildable items, and trade with other players, as every other character you see in the game is another player. This live sim community building adventure game is coming to Nintendo Switch on the 8th of March.
Will you develop an enviable fashion sense? Will you build a fortune the likes of which the world has never seen? Make your home here in Eden Falls, a new frontier full of profit and opportunity. A brave new world awaits, newcomer. Now come on!
Once I was just like you, but now I eat people.
iZombie is a strategic zombie game with a difference. This time, you play as the zombie. Playing as a leader of the zombie horde, you're tasked with the challenge of infecting every human you see on screen. You'll have the option of asking your minions to attack, flank, or wait for orders, while you plan out how to create the greatest zombie army the world has ever seen. iZombie is coming to Nintendo Switch on the 8th of March.
The squad. You can't stop me from my bite.
World Conquer X is a historically inspired World War II turn-based strategy game. The game offers 2 main modes, a single-player campaign that takes you through a series of missions all inspired by real-world events that occurred during World War II. The other mode offers a selection of scenarios to play through, allowing you to play with different perspectives of armies involved in World War II. World Conquer X is releasing on Nintendo Switch on the 8th of March. Sternden Binary Stars is a big, bold, loud and downright challenging endless shmup that boasts a lot of replayability. As you'd expect from any retro-inspired arcade shmup, Sternden offers little downtime. More often than not, the screen will be overrun with enemies and oversized bosses. A real nice touch with these bosses is the fact that they swap out each week, so when you jump on for your weekly blast at the leaderboards, you'll have a whole new set of bosses to take down. You can dive into the brass shooter Sternden Binary Stars when it releases on Nintendo Switch on the 8th of March. One-Eyed Kutka sits somewhere between video game, theatrical performance and animated short. The story follows a single traveller who, after crashing on their way home, must now embark on an adventure to deceive the mysterious planet's sun and moon. It's his pretty out there approach to the narrative and quirky art style, and the fact that the game's carrying a nice price tag of $2.99 that makes One-Eyed Kutka worth checking out when it releases on Xbox One and Nintendo Switch on the 9th of March. Flynn Hook is a fast-paced action game that puts you in the shoes of a space pirate with 3 key mechanics at your disposal. Firstly, you have your 360-degree shooting pistol. Secondly, you have the ability to slow all the action down around you. And finally, you have your trusty hook shot, which offers some pretty unique traversal through the randomly generated ships. The main story sees you trying to overcome the evil space pirates known as the Cluster Clan. The Cluster Clan are led by a series of pirate lords, and progressing through the levels, you'll face off against these lords, all in the hope to get the best space pirate loot available. Flynn Hook is releasing on Nintendo Switch on the 9th of March. Scribblenauts Showdown is the highly anticipated sequel to the brilliant multiplayer game Scribblenauts. Playing either in solo or in 4-player multiplayer, the game offers 25 minigames to compete in, all of which look to challenge you in both a strategic and creative level. Competing in these wacky minigames will see you unlock a ton of different cosmetic items, so your Scribblenaut can look just as bonkers as the games they are actually playing in. Scribblenauts Showdown is releasing on PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch on the 9th of March. Well, that wraps up another week of indie game releases on your consoles. As always guys, let us know in the comments below if you're looking forward to playing any of these games. To keep up to date with more indie game news, or maybe even hear what we've been playing, well, why not check out the latest episode of the Indie Credible podcast? And for all things indie games, make sure you subscribe and check out indie-credible.com.